Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second Coach's Corner interview. I'm here with Long Rod Van Huizendalen's head coach, Ed Kelly. Ed Kelly, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I'd like to first start off things. Can you explain your team name? You used to be Greenfield Cougars, but now you've switched.
Well, after consulting my good friend Glenn Quagmire, I decided to change the name to his screen name in ode to him. So it's Long Rod Van Huizendalen.
So are you trying to model your team after his?
After Glenn Quagmire's example.
And what example is that?
Well, he really put out a good example for people. He really just knows how to treat women. He knows how to respect women, and that's how he got the goal.
Very good. Okay, so it's your second season in the league.
That's right.
Last season didn't turn out exactly as you wanted to.
No.
What changes have you made coming into this new season?
Well, I've made a few changes to just the team mentality. I'm bringing in more character players. I'm bringing in players who can give something to my team. Now last year I inherited the team, which
Correct.
I wasn't too thrilled with.
Correct. You took over for Team Portman, who just didn't pay attention for the first 3 weeks.
Right. So I took over for the team, and I'm just thinking to myself, how can I make this team better? And
Sure.
I'm trying to overhaul it. I'm trying to change the entire thing. It's like taking over the Browns. It's not an easy job.
Not easy. Okay, so recently in the LXG, there's been trades like crazy. You yourself have been part of a few trades. First off, I heard rumors a week ago about you and Seth coming out with something big. Never happened. What happened there?
That was just a conflict of interest. He wanted too much for what I was able to give him.
Okay.
He wanted, I'm not going to get into details, but he was just asking too high a price, and the negotiations, they turned a little bit ugly. It was actually got a little bit personal, and his agents were talking to my agents. It was just a conflict. And
Just didn't work.
I don't really want to get into it.
Okay, so on a better side, on a better note, the trades that you did make, how do they benefit your team?
They benefit my team. It's what I have to do. It's high risk, high reward. I give up my first round pick in Brian Westbrook, but I get 3 players in exchange for him.
Sure.
Chris Henry, and Steve Smith, who's a proven player. Willis McGahee is a goal line bet. I bring in a lot of chemistry to the team. I bring in Mike Wallace and Roy Williams. It's making my team a little bit deeper.
How do you think Roy Williams is going to do with the rest of the season?
I think
Especially
he'll be
with Miles
fine.
Austin now.
Yeah, but Miles Austin, he played in the NEC school. I mean, let's be serious. He's not that good. He had a good game.
Sure.
I mean, a lot of people have had good games. Troy Edwards had a good game.
And speaking of Mike Wallace, who you acquired in a trade, he's starting this week for you.
Right.
Over Chris Henry,
Yeah.
over Kevin Walters.
Yeah. The reason why is just we're playing the Browns, and I think that Mike Wallace has a lot of upside. He's this year's Nate Washington.
Okay.
So I think that he might be able to burn the Browns secondary a couple times for a couple TDs. I might be
Couple
wrong.
TDs.
I might be wrong, but
All right.
I'm thinking that he has the biggest upside of any of my receivers this week.
Okay, so looking back at this season so far, we're in week 6, you're 2-3. You won the first week, lost the next 3, and you won last week. Fortunately for you, half the teams in this league are 3-2. You're 1 game out of basically the rush for the playoffs.
Right.
What do you do from here on out to ensure that you get into the playoffs?
Well, I think I've done a good job of overhauling my team and just making trades for the future of the season. And I really think that these trades are going to pay off. I think that I'm going to be in one of the top 4 teams.
Top 4?
Top 4.
Okay, all right.
Come December, I'm going to be right in the thick of things.
Who's the biggest threat looking at your schedule the rest of the season? Who's the biggest threat to your team?
Well, it would have to be a division rivalry, and I would have to say Gunstown's Finest.
Who you just made a big trade with?
Big trade with, but I mean, I might have hurt him a little bit with that on, like if somebody gets hurt on the
Sure.
game, then I sort of.
Are there any weeks coming up that 5 weeks are going to really affect your team?
Next week's a pretty big bye week.
Next
I
week.
got a bye week blues next week, but that's another reason why I made some trades.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
And last question, there's been rumors recently that you're a big fag.
no comment.
You ever macked out with a few dudes before?
I've acted out with a few dudes.
That doesn't make you gay, though.
No, not at all.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in this week for Coach's Corner with Coach Ed Kelly of Long Rod Van Huzendong. Look for him to make a big impact in the rest of the season. Enjoy yourselves.